Hi, EF.
Oh, it's Nadia, another tranny atheist. So, are you still incoherent in your atheism, Nadia, or have you come to your senses that there is a God?
Oh, I would say that I
Yeah,
am
you don't
very
have.
coherent.
Listen, you don't have to do that fake female voice. Okay, I know you were born man.
I've had voice surgery.
No, you don't. That's a fake voice that you habitated yourself to. Okay.
Well, if so, it's been surgically installed. So anyway,
You talk that way a long before you had anything done to you.
well, I have had voice surgery. So there you go.
So tell me again. So let's demonstrate for the benefit of everybody here the incoherence of atheism. Okay. Why don't you believe in God?
Oh, well, it's clear that the arguments for atheism hold. The arguments that there are no such things as gods.
You haven't answered the question.
Okay, sure.
All you did is you asserted that there is no God. Tell me how you know there's no God.
Well, I happen to like the argument from physical minds.
Testing 1 2 3. Does it sound good?
Okay, Nadia. Do you believe that all dependent facts, in order for them to be dependent facts, are going to have to be in virtue of something absolute that is not dependent?
No, I do not agree with that.
Okay, how can you have a dependent fact that doesn't depend upon anything?
You said it would have to depend on something absolute. I would say that if
Nadia,
it's a dependent fact.
Nadia, is it coherent to say you can have a dependent fact that ultimately doesn't depend upon anything?
While that is not what I said, it would not be coherent.
No, I didn't say that you said that. I asked you a question. Is it coherent to assert that a dependent fact is actual, but it doesn't ultimately depend upon anything? Is that coherent?
That would not be coherent.
Good. Now, do you have the capacity to invoke intelligible dependent facts?
I do not subscribe to your idea of intelligibility.
Okay. Do you believe, when you invoke facts or propositions, do you believe that a fact can be something other than dependent or non-dependent?
Um,
A fact
the
will either
way I
be
understand,
a fact will either be dependent or not dependent. That necessarily true. Okay.
I would say, are you talking about logical dependency?
Do you accept that a banana is either yellow or not yellow?
I would generally accept that, yes.
Okay. A fact is either dependent or not dependent.
Well, depending on what kind of dependency.
No, Nadia.
Sorry.
If you accept that a banana is either yellow or not yellow, then you have to accept that a fact is either dependent or not dependent.
Well, the sort of notion of dependency that I would accept would be logical dependency.
Stop with the gobbledygook. Okay. Okay. This isn't your Google Hangout anymore. Okay. Stop with the gobbledygook. Now, do you accept that a fact is either a dependency or not a dependency? That it would be non-dependent. Do you accept that?
For a particular idea of dependency that I have in mind, yes.
Okay. Now, can you have a dependent fact that ultimately doesn't depend upon anything?
Well, that would be a contradiction, so no.
Okay. Now, can you have a dependent fact that doesn't ultimately depend upon anything? You said no. You agree with me that that's incoherent. So Nadia, Nadia, Is it coherent to say that you have a dependent fact that doesn't ultimately depend upon something? Is that coherent?
No.
Okay. Now, do you have the ability to verbalize dependent facts?
That's difficult.
So Nadia, you got to stop with the gobbledygook. You got to stop with the double talk. This isn't Google Plus anymore. Okay. I'm asking you simple, straightforward questions. I don't need diversionary tactics. Now, can you present coherent dependent facts? That's all I want to know. Yes or no?
I'm not entirely sure what you have in mind by that, but I would say that for my common understanding of those words, yes.
Okay. Do you accept that there has to be something ultimate, absolute, and non-dependent in order for there to be dependent facts?
No.
Okay, then how do dependent facts ultimately exist without something that is ultimate and non-dependent, Nadia? By the way, if you're confused about Nadia, Nadia is always ambiguous, unclear, and not giving clear answers. This goes back years, and all you get is gobbledygook. So I think I'm just going to hang it up with that. If anybody wants their microphone unmuted, just flash, and I'll unmute you if you want to talk. Okay. Okay. So Nadia, are you?
Yes, I'm here.
So Nadia, do dependent facts require for their existence that there be something absolute and non-dependent?
I would say no.
Good. What does a dependent fact ultimately depend upon then, Nadia?
I would say there is no ultimate dependency. You don't have to regress.
Okay, we're done then, because earlier in the conversation you conceded that a dependent fact that doesn't ultimately depend upon something is incoherent. So you conceded to that earlier. Okay, everybody heard you. I heard you. Everyone else in the room heard you. That it's incoherent to say there's a dependent fact that doesn't ultimately depend upon anything. So you've now admitted that any dependent fact that you invoke is without ultimate basis, and therefore it's without ultimate meaning. Thank you for your time, Nadia. Okay. Another atheist vanquished. Okay. So when an atheist says, "Oh, I can have arguments for God," well, what dependent facts could you marshal for anything if it ultimately doesn't depend upon anything? So there would be no way to establish any premise whatsoever, because Nadia has already agreed that, or stated that there are no unconditionally absolute non-dependent facts, but there are dependent facts. But then those facts don't depend upon anything. And Nadia already conceded that a dependent fact that doesn't ultimately depend upon anything is incoherent. So whatever facts or propositions Nadia verbalized, Nadia has already admitted that it's incoherent.